Hello everyone, I hope you're doing well. One of my favorite type of fragrances in life are those who have the ability to transport you somewhere where you have maybe never even been, maybe to evoke some memories, to transport you to the past. It's a reason why people say that sense of smell is one of those few senses that are directly connected to our memory, directly connected to our brain part that is responsible for our memories. So often if we form some sort of experience while wearing a fragrance, or even if we develop, for example, feelings for one person or another that has, for example, a signature scent, when you, again, no matter after how long you smell the same scent, these memories come up. You are already again brought to the time where this experience happened, where this place you maybe some time ago visited appears before your eyes. And today I will be talking about fragrances that transport me to some locations. Not about memories, maybe, at least in maybe one case, but most of the fragrances that were kind of intended by a perfumer to transport you somewhere in the world where you maybe been once, or maybe not, even just your imaginations and write-ups, and again, I guess marketing can also influence that. So I will start with Tom Ford Oud Minerale. This is not chosen by chance. This is the perfume that inspired me to do this video. Where I live, we have a sea, we have beaches, we have tourist cities, and in one of these cities I spent quite a lot of time in my younger days, partying, having a good time, and this perfume evokes, you can say, even a memory of some sorts. In my country, even in the summer, the days can be warm, but at night, most of the time, it's not that hot. I remember spending time in the dunes, on the beach at night, where the sand is still hot, but the weather is not so hot anymore. The sea in Baltics is mainly never hot, no matter day, night, summer or winter. So with this perfume, it teleports me to this midnight black ocean floor, brightened with the moonlight. I feel the warmth from the sand, but it's just a minor detail. Everything else is cold, aquatic. It brings me to the ocean shore, let's say, at night, where cold breeze comes from the sea. It brings me to a place, it brings me to a memory. It's probably one of the first perfumes ever where I experienced this instant teleportation to somewhere I have been before. And that's why this perfume will always stay in my collection. Little tangent, this is a private blend version of this fragrance. It's of course discontinued because Tom Ford, why not? I have not smelled the designer iteration of this perfume, so I'm not sure how transportive that one actually is. Second, from oceans and ocean shores, time to go to a desert. Lair du Désert Marocain by Andy Tower. Well, this is quite obvious. I think that's the intended location picked by the perfumer. It obviously transports me into the desert. It's very unique, and I think one of the most important niche indie perfumes ever created. It recently had its 20-year anniversary of this perfume. Now it costs like 130 euros for 50 ml. It's an extremely reasonable price. It costed 120 euro for probably 17 years of these 20 years, and then he raised the price by a whopping 10 euros. And the Tower is an amazing perfumer, amazing person, and creating something like this, only a man with understanding of art in perfumery could have accomplished something like that. This is my first introduction, let's say, to perfumery as an art form. And before that, I, like most of you, were looking for compliments. This is the first perfume that showed me the compliments. The best compliments you can get is the ones you tell yourself, and the experiences you get. This is a dry perfume, dry as a desert air. If you ever been to a, let's say, a very dry and hot country, you can feel, you will understand the type of dryness I'm talking about. In many cases, if you take a very dry perfume, it's a little bit suffocating and stuck somewhere here in your throat. But the Tower managed to create something magnificent, and that doesn't happen with this perfume. It has this freshness of air, I guess. It doesn't smell like you're stuck in the desert. It smells like you're in a room with even maybe air conditioner and grapes and juice and all the food you want, and you just smell this dry, sweetish, fresh even desert air coming to your face through a window. Maybe somewhere in the far horizon there's a spice market, and because there are some spices, but it's not like you're in the center of the spice market. Everything is somewhere far away, and you're just enjoying your life, and you get whiffs of this huge, dry, and somewhat sweetish desert air. Like the Desert Marocain, I guess. A perfect name for a perfect fragrance. So we have ocean, we have desert. Time to get into a deep jungle forest. Name also kinda provides the image, jungle Kinam. There are quite a few types of forests in the world. In Lithuania we don't have jungles, we have pine forests. This perfume, it brings me to a jungle, but it's like the jungle is so old, the trees are so big that the sun rays, they never reach the ground floor. Jungle Kinam to me feels like this ground floor of a jungle that has never seen sunlight. It is damp. It's extremely humid because the sun never reaches the ground floor. It's always wet. The trees are ancient. So ancient you can basically smell the dust of their trunks. It's very earthy. No man has ever put foot in this place that I smell here. It probably has the oldest wood trees out there because we haven't discovered it yet. I have never been to such a forest, such a jungle, obviously, because in my fantasy no man has ever set a foot there. So this is maybe more of an imagination transportation. But it brings me to this place, untouched by man, only by nature, and not even touched by sun. Very calming, very nice fragrance. I will do my full review. I just want to take more time. Some fragrances take time to review. From a deep forest jungle that never touches, they are not touched by sun rays, we go to something a little bit different. We go to a pine forest. Uh, in my country, we have these forests where in the middle of the forest there are not so many trees. You have a field with some trees, quite large amount of space between them. Mushrooms grow good there. This perfume, Russian Musk too, by Areej Dore, it teleports me to such place, to such a very sunlit place in the middle of maybe big pine forest. It's always winter. With Russian musk, with Siberian musk, with even Siberian summer, with Areej Dore's interpretations of musk, it always has to be winter in my imagination. It always is. It brings me to the place where the deer musk lives. We have deers in Lithuania, but they are not deer musks. They are just deer, as far as I know. I don't know, maybe I should look into it. But I imagine if you live somewhere else where you maybe don't have this type of forest, you have maybe pine trees in the mountains, it would also work. It feels like you're brought to a place where this deer lived. You can smell the pines, you can smell the grass, you can smell the deer, obviously. It has this texture of fur. I don't know if this was Adam's inspiration while creating this perfume, but that's exactly what I feel. I feel like I have been brought to the kingdom of deer, to their birthplace. Continuing with Areej Dore, we have Atlantic Ambergris 2. As I mentioned in my review of Atlantic Ambergris 2, in my country we have these places where we have Baltic Sea, beach, and behind the beach is a pine forest. This is exactly what I get in Atlantic Ambergris. From the sea, I have this aquatic feeling, obviously provided by ambergris. From my back, I can smell the pine trees, and in the middle, the spices used here, the clove. It reminds me of the dryness of the sand that connects the sea to the pine forest. This memory is not imaginary. The first time I got this perfume, it was early spring, similar to this. The first time I ever wore it, I went in this exact location of the sea, beach, and pine forest. I walked there for half a day. And in some cases, I truly lost the understanding if what I'm smelling is this perfume or I'm just smelling the surroundings. So I don't know again if Adam intended to create a perfume that feels like this location that reminds me where I went many times when I was a child and now when I'm an adult. But intended or not, it is success. That's exactly where this fragrance takes me. Few things left. Maybe let's go to a little bit of more specific. In this case, human-made location, Ensar in Papua. I have a full review of this fragrance. I talked about this experience a little bit more in depth in that video. So if you want to hear more about this, you can watch that. It takes me to a flower shop, but it's like a full experience of flower shop. If you have ever entered like a flower store in the hot summer weather, when you enter the shop, you get this complete change of locale. It's colder, it's humid, all these smells capture you. That's exactly what happens when you first spray Pink Papua by Ensar Oud. It has this water flower in all the composition. I guess it never fades, at least until the dry down. So you have this cooling effect, like in the flower shop. You have this humid effect because of the water lily. That is like in the flower shop. And this fragrance has these transformations, like every 10-15 minutes, it feels like you're smelling a different flower. So it's not only you are in the flower shop, you keep walking in the flower shop, you keep walking past various different flowers, and you can smell different flowers like every 10-15 minutes. It is an experience, in my opinion, one of the best Ensar Ouds you can get today on his shop for a heritage price tag, heritage line price tag. Very recommended for me if you're a floral enjoyer. The second to last perfume is also kind of obvious. It's in the name, Spice Bazaar by Nishane. I have not covered Nishane's brand on my channel just yet. I have quite a few bottles. In my niche collecting days, it was one of my favorite houses among like Tom Ford, Creed. I also liked Nishane. Obviously discontinued, because why not? All the fragrances I love the most are getting discontinued sooner or later. I guess I'm not your regular customer. Yeah, the name says it all. It smells like a Spice Bazaar. But the reason why I kept it in my collection, and why I am planning to do a full review, I love the cumin note in this perfume. It manages to create this Spice Bazaar feeling with added freshness, and again, like in even more so than in Désert Marocain, the spices are not suffocating. They're not too dry. They manage to add some freshness, some even humidity to the perfume to make it pleasant for your nose. This is again a human-made location, a Spice Bazaar. If you ever been to one, I think smelling this will bring you back to that location, to that memory pretty easily. And now for my last one, and this is not even a perfume. This is I guess even more of so teleporter by memory, by experience. This is an oud oil I bought directly from a local vendor when I visited Vietnam. Thankfully I was not scammed. To this day, after many more ouds tried in my life, this is my favorite oud I have ever had. I bought this on maybe my second or third day of the travel in Vietnam, and it was leaking a bit, so I used it every day for almost 2.5 weeks, because it was leaking and I didn't want to waste it. So I was everywhere where it leaked, I had a bag, I would rub it on myself. So over the 3 weeks I traveled in Vietnam, this scent was everywhere with me. The trip, it was not easy. It was not like lay by the hotel, beach or pool and relax. No, we were traveling, we were exploring the country. My body reached its limits basically by the end of the trip. This helped me to calm down, to collect my thoughts, to fall asleep, to relax, to stay calm in stressful situations. It helped me. It stayed with me. And even the person who I bought this oud from, I visited the same city by the end of the trip, and I told him that, you know, this thing happened. I'm very sad I lost some of your oil. He refilled my bottle with no extra charge. I mean, oud is not cheap. I paid less than I would pay for this quality in Western Europe. I think in Western Europe this kind of quality oud would, I don't know how much it would cost, but it would cost an arm and a leg. And he just refilled the amount that leaked, and basically the amount that I used as well. Anyways, this is a transformation that teleports me to a memory. It teleports me to a place where I've been, and it's the best oud I have ever had in my life. Thank you for watching for this video, and don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, tell me fragrances that teleport you somewhere. Have a good evening and goodbye.